When Facepunch first introduced the ability for us to build on tugboats on the water, they completely revolutionized the way we can deal with bases on our servers, which at the time was probably one of the biggest fundamental changes that Facepunch made to the game since switching from legacy to experimental. This was a huge change. And then when they brought trains to our maps, I think they really left something on the table there, not allowing us to build on trains. Of course, that is until today. Hey everybody, welcome back to Rust Admin Academy, where I'm teaching you everything that you need to know about owning and operating a successful Rust server. On this channel, I do plugin reviews and tutorials, plus I want to give you all of the little tips and tricks that you're going to need to be more successful with your Rust servers. If you're brand new to the channel, consider subscribing so that you stay up to date on everything that we're working on. And of course, if you take any value out of today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. All right, so today we're talking about a plugin called Train Build Plugin Remastered. Of course, that means that the developer of this plugin had an original version before, and now they've gone back in and completely rebuilt it from the ground up. So a huge shout out goes to Leroy Jenkins 420. Jenkins at codefling.com. I'll put a link to this plugin in the video description down below. So there is some really important information directly on the doc page. I don't normally spend a lot of time here, but there is some important information that you have to know. First and foremost, the plugin itself is a premium plugin and it costs $30 US. Leroy Jenkins has informed me that he's going to be putting it on sale. So hopefully by the time you see this video, you should see a 10% discount for the week after this video releases. I'm not sure about that timing. So there's a really important section here that I want to bring your attention to. So the way I understand this is you wouldn't add this plugin during an existing wipe. If you decide that you want to get this plugin for your community, you wouldn't implement it until a fresh wipe. The reason for that is the plugin actually needs to make a modification to your procedurally generated maps so that you can build directly on the rails. So you've decided you want to have this plugin for your community and it's wipe day. So you go in and you make sure that you have no existing map saves in your server folder. Once that's done, you would install this plugin into your plugins folder with the server offline. And this plugin does work well both on Oxide and Carbon. Once you start your server back up, you will notice that the plugin actually goes in and makes changes directly to the map. And while it's doing that, it's going to look like it's spamming your console, but it's just making all of the changes to all of the different areas of the map where rails currently exist. Now that part is just for procedurally generated maps. If you're using a custom map on your server, yes, you can still use this plugin. It will just require you to go into Rust Edit and make some changes to your map manually because the plugin won't be able to do it automatically for you. And most of you that are using custom maps are familiar enough with Rust Edit to know that when I say you need to go in and change the topology of the railroad area to building, you'll know what I mean. And once your server is back online, you can now go around and explore for the different types of train cars that you can build on. Of course, there are also pre-built train cars that might show up on your server as well. At this point, I think it's important to let you know that there are no permissions required. So once this plugin is done, everybody on your server is going to have the ability to build on train cars. And it works exactly like you would expect it to. You come up to a train car that has twig flooring and you can build on it. Now, one thing that I did notice when the train is sitting on a slope like this and you try to place things, of course, it's trying to place it level to the map. Well, that doesn't necessarily work when your train car is sitting on a slope. So once you place that first wall, when you try to place another one next to it, obviously you run into an issue there. So what I found useful was actually moving that car onto a flatter part of the map and then just continuing on with your build as if you were normal. And of course, all of your regular functionalities will still work like they should. So if you want to upgrade, you can upgrade. If you have building grades, you can do that too. And then once you're done, you literally have a train car that is now a base. Drop down a TC, protect it, do exactly the same things that you would do if this was a regular base. The only difference is now we get to move this base literally wherever we want to go. So of course, the ramifications of this are unbelievable. Let's say you want to take a protected method of going to a raid location. Hello? Or let's say the rumor mill is letting you know that somebody might be coming to raid your train in the next couple of minutes, hours, days. All you got to do is be there to move your train and they can no longer find it. Which of course means you can also drag it underground. But surprisingly, that's not all there is to this plugin. There's so much more that I can show you. For example, there's a throttle syncing feature built into this plugin. So what that means is you can have two engines, one at the front of your train and one at the back of your train. And as long as both of those engines have fuel in them, their throttles will work together, which of course is giving you more power to build longer trains and still have enough jiggly jams to drag that behemoth around your map. You'll also notice that this plugin has built-in presets, which of course you can turn on and off in the configuration file, but if you leave it default like I have here, you might come across stuff like this. This is a pre-built train car that comes with the plugin. So of course, any player on your server could drop a TC, slam some doors on this, and take this over as their own. Of course, there's a couple of different variants of those pre-built presets. Once you have this plugin on your server, you can explore around and see the different types of variants that are available. And of course, like I said before, it's all controllable in the config, which one of those variants is going to be available on your server. So imagine your players rolling up on your server in a train built just like this one, armored to the hilt. An entire team of people roll out to raid your base. It might make people think twice about building next to railroads. You never know. So I sort of feel like a lot of players don't utilize trains nearly as much as they should. Maybe this will give them a little bit of an incentive to actually make use of these trains. So head on over to codefling.com, pick up your copy of Train Build Plugin Remastered. Hopefully you'll pick it up during the 1 week that it's on sale directly after the release of this video. Or you never know, maybe one day down the road, Leroy Jenkins will put this on sale again. Maybe around Christmas time, maybe around New Year's, something like that. Who knows? We'll see what happens. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, do me a favor, please hit that thumbs up for me. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does help me out a ton. Now, if you want to check out another video that I did on the default train system, check this video on the left-hand side of your screen. If you haven't yet, and I think you should, hit that subscribe button down below. And of course, if you want to help what I'm doing at Rust Admin Academy, you can click on my Patreon link directly down below. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next week.